y'all, it's me, Myesha-Tiara, actress, director, theater owner, book reader, and your local Chicago mamacita. Hey, it has been a minute since I have posted a book review, but I'm back, and the setup's real cute, and these are all the books I need to read in general. They're all on my TBR, but I keep checking out more and more books every single day from the library, but listen to here nor there. Let's get into my first book read for 2026, okay? First thing I've read so far this year is giving really nostalgic vibes, is a book by V.C. Andrews called Ruby. Okay, so I know some of y'all have definitely been into your V.C. Andrews back in the day when we were kids and reading all those books. I know I was. And then I ran across some of her books recently and I was just like, I really want to get back into reading these. So I have been going to all of the free little libraries and just grabbing them all. I don't know why, but I am telling myself I'm going to read every single book in V.C. Andrews' catalog. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm so happy I started with Ruby because it takes place in Louisiana, down in the bayou, and in New Orleans. Okay, so I'm from Louisiana, so it was really like touching to be like, oh, okay, first book of the year, and it takes place where I'm from. Love that. So Ruby really gives Cinderella meets the bayou, and that's before she ever meets that prince in that glass slipper. She starts off living in the bayou with her grandmere Catherine and just being raised by the matriarch of her family. Her mother is no longer with us. We end up finding out, which is not a real spoiler because it kind of tells you in the beginning of the cover, that her mother had already passed when she was like a newborn baby. Then all of a sudden we get into the fact that she had a twin. But how did she have a twin if her mama only had one baby? And it's crazy. Lots of crazy family dynamics, very spiritual if you're into that kind of thing, which I love those kind of things. It very much gives authentic Louisiana vibes, even with the food. They talk about what the things she cooks, the stuff that they make, them being Cajuns, like, I don't know, I felt very nostalgic about her when I was reading, and I was like, man, this really does remind me of back home. And she eventually goes to New Orleans where she finds her father, who she never knew who he was. And that's when she finds also her twin sister. And when I tell you that little heifer is nothing to play with, not kind at all, and the stepmama even worse. If you want a Cinderella story where Cinderella never finds that glass slipper, and it takes place in New Orleans, and a whole bunch of spiritual hoodoo and voodoo is happening, along with some, just energy of you fighting for your life for Ruby. I was fighting for Ruby the whole time. I was like, girl, please. I want you to succeed in life. Please, Ruby, please. But she's also a teenager, so she only has so much thought process. That brain ain't fully formed. But overall, great read. I would say it's about it's not a fast read. I say it's a medium read. Great plot, very well thought out characters, a very good mix of characters. So if you're into mystery, if you're into historical fiction, because it's very much historical fiction, I think it takes place in either the late 1800s or early 1900s, very early. Like it's very automobiles are very much so. It's a thing, but it's not like a thing that's been happening for a huge amount of years. It's just the energy is wonderful, and it's definitely a YA, a novel. So if you got any teenagers that need to read something like this, it's very thick. It's a little over 330 pages, so it's not a hard read at all. But yeah, I honestly would give it a 5 out of 5. I gave it a 5 out of 5 for Goodreads and Storygraph, so I'm messing with it. So Ruby by V.C. Andrews, definitely a read that I would encourage you to check out if you're into reading YA novels, and I'll see you in my next book review.